Right, so it should be my turn, but we are running out very much of the time. So what I would propose is that I introduce you just basically very simple thing. Is here. So LinkTADs has delivered 2 additional reports that you might be interested in to check on the website. One is the best practices report, where we collected a lot of good practices regarding not only EU-China collaboration, but generally international multilateral cooperation, mostly in the field of animal health research. And we tried to draw a lot of conclusions regarding how to continue these good practices and how it should affect the future EU-China collaboration projects. And there's another report, which is the Joint Innovation Report, which is not published yet on the website. The best practices report it is, if you would like to check it. But also the Joint Innovation Report should be published next week on the website. We are just waiting for the final approval from the project decision makers body. And then this has analyzed the innovation trends basically and the global trends in the field of animal health research and the animal health industry, and also has put together an analysis regarding the innovation actions and the innovation actors. And we have done that through analysis of the joint publications and the publications that have been done in the specific animal diseases, as you have seen from Julian's presentation as well, and analyze those publications and the joint patents as well, or the individual patents published in the EU and China. And from those we drew some additional conclusions. So based on that, we have come up with a list of kind of recommendations and conclusions. So I would welcome you to actually check these best practices first, and then just to see some of the major conclusions, which is, in order to be successful for your future EU-China collaboration project, you just focus on one of the strategic priorities that has been, of course, accepted in the EU and China as well. That is kind of a crucial basis, and here we just list a few of the strategic documents where you can find that specific information what to focus on. All of those best practices and also the LinkTADs experience shows that you should start with something small if you don't have yet. And let's say the China counterpart involved in your project, because you should start with something small, with a work visit, with an exchange program, with a common organization of an event and so on. And based on that, build up a more strong networking and a more strong collaboration between the EU and China. You should consider always the multiplier effect, for example, of a training course, and always take into consideration when you organize such a training in the EU or in China, how other benefits could be, let's say, used with that, and always utilize the trainer approach, because that is what seems to be the most efficient in terms of also our training courses that we organized in LinkTADs, but also through all the other best practices that we analyzed. The mobility is really important into both directions. At the beginning of LinkTADs, we focused on young researchers, but it turned out that also the senior researchers' mobility and the support of their travel regarding work visits and short-term exchanges will add much more benefits into initiating a strong collaboration or a long-term collaboration. What else? From other projects also, we concluded that there should be some kind of an alumni set up that involves those scientists, those researchers who have participated already in the EU-China collaboration and could share the best practices, the knowledge, and could share the experience so that the future collaborations will be more successful. The IP issue is something that should be tackled. The Chinese researchers tend to invite European counterparts to do joint publications. On the other hand, in Europe, it is not very common that they invite the Chinese organizations to do joint publications. They more focus on other other European countries or the US or Israel and so on. So that should be something that has to be taken into consideration when you want to initiate EU-China collaboration, so that the reciprocity has to be there always, and thinking about these IP issues. It is true in general that you have to consider the industrial demand, and probably no EU-China project finance under the EU-China flagship would be financed if you don't have the private organizations, the industry involved as well, very heavily. And then if they do not commit to the project and they do not have their own ideas involved also in order to succeed with the evaluation. Some new technologies have been mentioned from the analysis of the joint publications and the joint patterns, such as the IT industry or the big data, or let's say some other new technologies where there's a really strong technological advancement in the past few years, and those very heavily give an added value to the agriculture, food and animal health industry. So these should be taken into consideration again when you initiate something like the EU-China collaboration. Initiate it across the disciplines and consider very heavily the big data in the IT industry, because that's something that is kind of growing. What else? Regarding the industrial demand, it is also true that all of those research organizations and universities that tend to cooperate only with other research institutions and universities should consider now to set up some kind of a strategy, some kind of a guideline or policy internally, how to deal with the private industry and how to involve big companies or small and medium-sized enterprises into their projects. There has to be some kind of a guideline set up, otherwise they might not succeed in the future. It's very much missing from many of the universities and research organizations. And very shortly, that was all, like in a really in a nutshell, but I would encourage you again to read the best practices report, and from the next week on, we will send you information that the joint innovation report is published as well. And those also have much more in detail the conclusions and the analysis itself of the patents and the publications. Right? And not to take the lot of time from Anna's presentation, the final one.